misdefinition of men in our culture, it just always seems to be building up manhood on the very thing the scripture said don't build life on.
Yeah.
The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. It's literally what we say men are supposed to aspire.
Money, women.
Yeah, all that stuff. Money, women, power, men bragging about body counts, cars, money. All this stuff that when they die is gonna stay here. On the solution tip, let's fill in the sentence, right?
Okay.
I'll start. A man is one who. Welcome to the Legin Podcast, Season 5. Glad you're here, man. Thanks for being a part. If you haven't already, share, subscribe, star.
Yes.
Those are 3, right?
Maybe another thing. But go ahead.
This stuff. Do the things. We appreciate you. And shout out to our sponsors, Chick-fil-A at Broad Creek Crossing the Military Highway. Swing on in there and get you a sandwich. And shout out to Aviation Institute of Maintenance, training people across the country how to build planes and make some money. So we appreciate you for sponsoring this show. To my left.
Which one?
Yeah, where we at?
Everybody.
Yo.
To my left, man, JB Harrison, my co-host, my brother. You know what I'm saying? We've been to the continent of Africa together.
Yes, sir.
Kasho,
Yes, sir.
Came back. We should have stayed.
Yeah.
And to my other left, to my further left.
There you go.
There it is. Nominally Art Studio, Trevor Lucas. And my man is a graffiti artist who gets paid lots of money to do it, and colorblind and can do it. It's crazy, right?
God is good, man.
Hey, look, he saw my sweater. He was like, man, I like the colors on that sweater. I don't know what colors they are. But
It look nice. It look nice, bro. Yeah. I don't know. Lilac.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was just being funny because I was going to say, I thought it was blue maybe.
God done healed you. Praise him.
Is it lilac?
Shamana, huh?
Yes.
Huh?
See, God is good.
So we talk a lot about life, culture, faith up here, and conversations about our journeys, what we've been through, like finding Christ, fatherhood stuff, marriage stuff, culture stuff, politics stuff. Today we wanted to talk, because we keep seeing a lot of definitions about what a man is or isn't, and a lot of confusion around what manhood is. So we just thought, coming off of conversations about fatherhood, it would be dope to talk about once you get through fatherlessness perhaps, or you just become an adult, what does it look like to actually be a man? So that's the question. What do you see, not what your definition is, but what do you see as the culture talking about what manhood is these days?
Oh God. So at the culture.
We started with that already.
Well, the culture sees. Yeah.
From what I'm seeing from the culture, I think depends on which culture you're looking at.
All right.
So when it comes to what they call Black culture, some may think aggression. Some may think you got the whole term of YNs going on. You got how many women, you can...
How many bodies you got?
Yeah, how many body count.
That's a whole fresh conversation nowadays for some reason.
You got, clothes, the presentation of it. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Then you've got another idea from maybe the older group of people who remember their grandparents and more responsible men who think of the protector, who think of the man who takes care of the household and takes the woman on the date and doesn't go half. He takes care of it, but that's kind of frowned upon in certain areas now with the, you're looking for me to pay for the date. I don't know, man. It's confusing even to me. I know what a man is, but what they see it's a hodgepodge.
Well, the crazy thing is, if you confused.
I'm not confused.
When I say confused,
at culture,
just the way the culture is reading.
Yes, I am confused at what they're reading it.
What do you think young cats, dudes that are influenced by social media?
It shouldn't be this tough a question.
How do you think they feel?
Yeah.
Like the information that they get. Like, am I supposed to pay for a date or I'm not supposed to pay for a date?
Right.
Am I supposed to?
Is you tricking if you pay for it?
Am I supposed to smash? Am I not supposed to smash?
Right.
Am I supposed to, what am I supposed to do?
Yes.
And so that definition of what a man is if you're going based off the culture and all social media, man, you're gonna be messed up. You gonna be messed up, and that's probably why we've got so many messed up.
It seems that manhood is changing with the trends and the times. There's no anchored description.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fluid.
And that's I hate that word.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, but
it's fluid.
On the flip, fluid. On the flip, it's like this piece of, well, is a man just a provider? Does he just pay the bills? Does he just get the food? Does he just take care of the house? Because like you can do all those things and still miss caring for the people in that house. But you handled all of the technical things of caring for them. You know what I mean? Like, so there's that piece of it too, because like there's sometimes when you're talking about like looking at grandparents' generation, like you hear from them of married 50, 60 years and stuff like that seems like a memory now, right? But then you also hear, a lot of times you hear people throw back, well, yeah, but a lot of them stuck around in unhealthy marriages because they didn't know it was okay to leave or it wasn't culturally okay to leave, which is true in some cases. But like there's that piece of like, has there always been a broken whatever of manhood and we're looking back with rose-colored glasses? Or was it actually better and it's gotten progressively worse along the way?
From a biblical standpoint, the enemy has been out here doing what he do since the beginning of time. So our issues have always been there, but there's new nuances now.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say.
One of my favorite quotes, the quote is, all new news is old news happening to new people.
Okay.
Right? So like, is this really new? Oh man, things are so bad. Is it really that bad or has it always been? You know what I'm saying? It's just our chance to experience it. You know what I mean?
Well,
I got a homeboy of mine, and
Malcolm Muggeridge, that was his name.
oh,
there you go.
Yeah, see,
I was trying to say
Gotcha.
Walter. Sorry.
you're welcome. So my homeboy, he was talking about, it's bad out here now. Christians are getting persecuted, blah blah blah. Man, it's hard out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But you think back in the day, you was getting stoned.
yeah,
Cats was getting stoned back then.
yeah.
And so, yeah, it's hard out here, and it's but I think it all depends on the person, the lens they're looking through.
The lens, yeah.
And so, even when it comes to the manhood piece, how do you determine what's being a man? And a lot of it is based on the lens that you're looking through.
Yeah.
If you're following social media to get your information,
Yeah.
and to guide and direct you,
They're throwing a lot of smoke in that.
you're gonna be in a
Now,
world of hurt.
Yes, we've always had issues, but I would dare to say this is the only time where anyone will be confused as to what a man or a woman is.
Yeah.
I would say in history, this is the only time that's been challenged or questioned.
Well,
am I tripping?
Yeah.
The only one I know about.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm sure like when people try to say certain things just started happening recently when stuff got woke, whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, go look back. Like this stuff been a thing. But as far as like the actual definition of we don't know what a man or woman is,
Yes.
you're probably right. But I haven't researched to see. I don't know.
I haven't, but
But I mean, I would venture to agree with you.
I would
without
dare
looking
to
into
say
it.
that this
But,
is the time. But also what I feel like we're dealing with as well, because if we're thinking from a spiritual standpoint, if I was the devil himself, the first thing that I would, well, I'm not though.
You notice I'm on the couch over here.
My bad, like I had plans.
He said, if I was, I'm not saying I am, but if I was,
But I would want to.
that's what the devil would say.
I would want to take out the covering of the household first and foremost, because I already know that strong families is what makes strong communities, which makes strong cities,
For sure.
which makes a strong world, right?
For sure.
So let's attack the family.
So why is the house so
So
broken?
how do I get the man out of here? And I think that attack has been happening in different ways over time.
For sure.
But right now, we're dealing with the chickens coming home to roost from fatherlessness over the past umpteen years. So now the father wasn't there. Now I can replace what that used to be with whatever, your favorite rapper, your favorite influencer, your favorite
What happened to me?
political views, whatever,
or another female.
or another female. So now it's like that this has been put in place, and legislatively, the confusion is running deeper now as to what our place is.
Yeah.
So, you know, if dads were around over all of this time, it wouldn't have shaken us in concern as to what that looks like, because he was on post.
You're right, man. So you go back to the garden, and I always look at that piece, and people want to argue what the fruit was about and da-da-da. It was an abdication of responsibility, and it was a turning away from what God said, right? And so, but the part that caught me was, you know, God told Adam, do this, do that, right? Don't touch this, do this stuff, right? And then Eve is there, and the tempter comes to Eve and says, do this. And now she knows the word already. It's been, you know, whatever. She's like, no, we ain't supposed to. He's like, are you sure? She's like, I don't know. And she does what she wants.
Yeah.
The thing that trips me out is that she turned and gave it to him. He was right there the whole time.
He was there the whole time.
He was standing right there, right?
Seen
According to the story.
Talking to him.
Whether people see that exactly, literally, figuratively, narrative, whatever.
Right.
The point is, he was present, not doing his job.
There you go.
So that piece comes right into the day with this lens of like, how many of us have not done our jobs, right? To where there was easy to make it a redefinition. It was easy to say, well, look, all I know is you are good for nothing, whatever. So we gonna do what we got to do to survive.
Yep.
And that just makes sense, man. For me, man, when I see the misdefinition of men in our culture, it just always seems to be building up manhood on the very thing the scripture said don't build life on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking right here. It says that anything in the world, everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, it's literally what we say men are supposed to aspire.
Money, women.
Yeah,
Yes.
all that stuff. Money, women, power, all, and it's like, and that's what we say. So like we looking at men bragging about body counts, cars, money, all this stuff that when they die is gonna stay here.
And that could help them die. This stuff can cause things to crumble as well. It's not a firm foundation.
Yeah. You ever seen, I know it's old now, it ain't on the news, but I just watch it. It's recently fascinated me with the clips, like that balloon pop show. I forget what
Yeah.
John.
That joint crazy.
It'd be funny sometimes. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But you set yourself up to get rejected mainly off of superficial things.
Yes.
Look, job, all that stuff. And like people just walk out sometimes, they just like pop, pop, pop.
It sounds like gunshots.
Yeah.
People ducking. But it's crazy to me. And like and when like the lady will come out and reject the dude, she'll be like, why'd you go up and pop his balloon for him?
Shoes.
You go up, yeah, his shoes, or a little shorter than me, or like I don't like that. I'm
Throw a whole person
I'm
away.
offended. And then but like the whole situation be like something really, really superficial on some like, I don't like your job or where you're going. Oh, you a truck driver. We're not gonna make it nowhere. But then he's like, no, I actually own the truck business. Like, oh, can I get your balloon back? I'm like, what is going? You know what I'm saying? It's all superficial foolishness. Because you can't judge somebody based on lust of the flesh, lust of the world, pride of life. You can't do that. So, but that seems to be what we're judging life based on, in my opinion. So
And how do we carry the weight of this new society? Because I'm seeing every story I hear from the younger men out here in the dating world, it's bad reports, cuz it's and I'm sure for women.
I hear that.
We're talking about men.
I hear that from ladies too. Like I hear that. I'm going to speak at a women's conference this week, and like the women will be telling me, like, bro, like dating out here is not.
It's terrible.
Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Because I'm married. I'm good.
It's crazy, but it's like it makes me. It makes me like sad for that.
It does, bro.
Like, I feel like at the end of the day, man, like if you have, we talked about it before, like if you're in a certain culture, people you're around, if they're all hurt, you're gonna be hurt. If they're healed, you're gonna be healed. You gotta, I think the first step is to surround yourself with folks who are moving in the right direction, whether that's manhood, dating, whatever. And like find out like what circles are you in and what people are you around, because that's gonna be more the people I want to be in around, more the circles I want to
Absolutely.
be in. So like making sure that you're in the right spaces in the first place to grow and be around the right people is super important. Because if you keep hanging around with folks who ain't going nowhere, where they gonna take you?
Absolutely.
I mean,
blind leading the blind.
If you hang around men that can't figure out if they men or not, or what men are supposed to do,
right?
And all y'all gonna be sitting around there looking crazy.
Looking crazy.
From a biblical standpoint, this is why the Christ principles are important, and the moral compass of Christ is important. Because without it, if everybody got their own idea of what a man is, what a woman is, how to take care of a family and all of this, all these multiple truths, there's gonna be chaos. And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, no doubt.
there's no moral compass. There's no standard anymore.
No doubt.
So because of no standard being in place, everybody's kind of just
What do you do?
winging it.
What do you do?
And that's why we got the craziness that we're seeing right now, and people are really, really confused.
Yeah. You know what I think it is, man? I think talking solutions, right? Like or vision of where to go. I feel like we gotta redefine responsibility, because when a lot of people would be like, well, man is one who handles his responsibility, right? Does what you got to do. You start a business, you see it through. You start a family, you see it through. You start this relationship, you get this job, whatever. You're not about, whatever, and all that's true, I think. But I also think, man, like the responsibility for the people you have in your life, and like this is when I look back at you, like the people you have in your life and who you care for. How I move as far as like, I'm glad we talked about dating. How we move as far as like manhood, relationships, family. I'm choosing to love and take care of everything here when I don't feel like it, right? Because when things aren't going the way I feel like they should go, or I want them to go, or I'm not getting my ego stroked as much because whatever, I made a decision and a commitment to be the man here and to care and to serve you and to be here for you, and I chose to do that, and I'm not going anywhere no matter what, like all that, like that.
This is why grandparents stayed together. So
they stayed together, and for the critique of like, well, a lot of them stayed together through bad, abusive, they probably did, and that stuff needed to get checked. And
Absolutely,
they needed friends around to say, don't treat your wife like that. They need counseling.
Right.
All that's true, right? But there's still a fact of like, I'm going to stick this out because I made a commitment to you.
I made this commitment.
And we can take that at least and say that's good.
Yes.
And
paramount.
And take that type of stuff from there. Because I mean, the problem now is like, as soon as I don't feel
disposable,
get out of here. I don't feel like this is the place for me.
Yeah, because you have so many options available.
You got options available.
Options available. Certain things are made so easy now.
Yeah.
And then too, we also got to understand, like, you know, I hate to say it, but dudes aren't built the way that they were built back in the day. They're just not. Like, you know, you think about your grandparents and your grandfather and them and how strong they were.
Yeah.
How they were able to adversity. And I mean, you think of the stories that they've told you, all the things that they had to go through and fight through. And then for us, you know, some of the stories that we have, and we can't even handle being off work. Oh man, you know, or don't let the Wi-Fi go out.
So is it that we've been afforded too many comfortabilities in life to where we take struggle and hardship for granted as men now?
I think it's possible, man. I don't think that comfort is automatic less manhood. I don't think it's an automatic, like, less comfort makes you stronger.
Well, I'm speaking on the aspect of being so disposable when you get some pushback. Whenever it seems like I'm going through a little bit of a strain in relationship and life in general, men are quicker to give up.
I think it's possible, but I think whether you do or don't have comfort, if you're taught strong values, those things won't affect the values.
Right.
But what if father wasn't in there?
Yeah, because you weren't taught strong values.
So that's what, okay.
You know what I mean? So like now it's like life is built on these comforts. And if I don't have these comforts, I fold or I leave to go find more comfort.
Absolutely.
If you're taught you're here regardless, I'm not leaving, like this is what I'm doing, comfort or not, then that's built into the fabric of who you are, whether you do or don't get those comforts.
Absolutely.
So that's what I feel like the moral foundation you're talking about.
And it kind of goes back to, what is your example? You know, what examples are you putting before you? So for instance, you know, it goes back to, if social media is all that I see and that's what I'm going by, then that's how I'm gonna move. But if you're in a home and you see, you know,
the results of
commitment, you see, you know, what a man looks like, you know, because your dad is there and your dad is there doing what he's supposed to do. And I think all of that helps. But I think at the end of the day, it's about, you know, what is the example that you see, and whether it's an example that you see or an example that you choose.
Yeah, absolutely, you become.
But I think ultimately that is what's going to guide you, and your definition of at the end of the day what a man is and what a man looks like. And unfortunately, a lot of us are choosing the wrong examples to follow.
But that's what gets pushed to us.
Absolutely.
So
A combination of two, because one, it's pushed, but then two, sometimes we go get it.
well, yeah, I mean, like our inclination from either whether it's unhealth or sin nature or both is to run after lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life, right? It's
What's
less
attractive.
Well, yeah, we're going to run after that. Now, it makes it worse that the algorithm's feeding you the very thing you're tempted by,
And it does.
Right.
but it's also dangled in front of your face. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And so it's a natural place to get quick whatever you're looking for, because the right road is always harder, more difficult,
Absolutely.
sacrifice. And if nobody's showing you like the payoff is better here,
Yeah.
then what else are you gonna do? That's
Everybody quick dopamine hits. It's almost like we don't want to see a video over 60 seconds. That's how we deal with life. And for real, money don't fix it all.
it don't, bro.
There are things that's going to happen to you in life that money ain't enough. You're going to go through in ways that you're going to find depression in the fact that looking cute, being fly, and money being around just doesn't fill this void. You got rich people killing themselves every day because they find this fact out and they don't have the foundation to fall back on when you can't fall back on your money. And just like you find everybody want a bad B or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Cool and cute get old real fast when life start happening.
That's a bar.
It get old fast.
That's a bar.
So that's why it's important to have a firm foundation of morality and how to treat people, how to respect yourself, and all of that. Because if you was a dirtbag when you was broke, when you get money, it's gonna be worse.
It's gonna be a dirt bag with options.
And you're not gonna
dirty
and you're not gonna
dirtier bag.
You're not gonna
'Cause you got the
get a
bag.
woman who really cares about the person you are when that money leaves.
Yeah, man.
You feel what I'm saying? So these are things that that the elders understood.
Right, yeah.
They lived without all of these extras and all of this, and their wives and their kids still loved them, even though they didn't have the Mercedes and all this stuff, because they were solid men, they were honest men, they stood up even in the hard times, and they pushed through even when life wasn't so well to them. Yeah. And their kids watched them do it, and their kids picked up off of that, and I want to be a man like that,
right,
to be able to stand when stuff ain't always looking the best.
No doubt. So let's, on the solution tip, let's fill in the sentence, right?
Okay.
I'll start. A man is one who, right? So think about that. Okay. And like what solution to throw out here to anybody listening who's got questions, confusion, or needs a redefinition, because you know what I mean?
You want me to go
for me, I would say a man is one who chooses to handle and maintain his responsibilities.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like when I'm starting this family, when I'm getting this marriage situation, hopefully other order, when I'm starting this business, when I'm committing to be whatever I'm saying I'm going to be, when I'm making this journey, I'm choosing to handle this responsibility and stay here, especially when it sucks and it gets hard.
Absolutely.
Because you can't, particularly in the context of family, you can't link up with another human being and expect it to be roses the whole time. Like, it's going to be some hard stuff. But I chose to be here. I chose to commit, and I'm going to follow through on my commitment, come hell or high water. And I mean, some things are unavoidable and stuff change. I get it. But like JB said, the options we be bouncing for right now, that ain't it right now. So like when you say I'm going to do this, a man is one who follows through and gets it done. That's my perspective.
Can I add to your perspective too?
Yeah.
If you end up doing something out of your ignorance, say had a child with a woman that you didn't plan to be with,
Right.
that is also your responsibility.
Follow through and get it
You
done.
follow through.
Yeah.
That's
Follow
yours. You feel what I'm saying? You handle your issue no matter good, bad, or indifferent. As a man,
You handle your issue, and then if you don't know how to handle it, I don't know what to do with this. Get some help.
Absolutely.
But the bottom line is, this gonna get handled, and I'm gonna be handling it, even if I need help to handle it.
that's a man.
Yeah.
So that was yours too?
It was part of it.
So I'm going to just go with all the above.
Oh,
We're done.
you got something more than that.
All the above.
No.
But one that, true to his word for one.
There you go.
If you're going to say you're going to do something, you got to do it. And it goes back to what's already been said, even in relationship, marriage, whatever. If you're committed, be committed, regardless of what it looks like, because it ain't always going to be easy. That's for sure. But just because it don't get easy don't mean you quit. You know what I mean? But a man is going to honor his word. He's going to do what he says he's going to do. and he's going to continue to. He's going to be there. Once again, talked about my dad, and regardless of how crazy stuff got, because in my household everything wasn't always the best. But regardless of how it went, I knew if nothing else, I could always count on my dad. I could always count on him, even when I didn't necessarily want to. But I knew that, and he told me that, and I knew that I could trust him to do that. So at the end of the day, men, if you say you're gonna do something, you got to honor that. You got to stick that one out.
It's a work.
Yeah. Y'all covered a lot of the things that I would have thought about, but also a man is always an example of strength through whatever. Even if he can't do something, he's gonna try. You know what I mean? For his and those that he loves. But he's also a man that has no issue with saying when he messed up. He cleans up whenever he messes up.
Yeah, that's dope.
And he fixes things around. He's someone that you can definitely see as an example of how to live life. And the ultimate is a man mimics and mirrors God. It says a wise man's steps are ordered by the Lord.
Yeah.
Right? So if God gives his life for his bride, which is the church, the man carries that same attitude. If God covers his church and his people and loves them and looks out for them before self, that's how the man is supposed to operate. We walk in the footsteps of Christ.
Yeah.
If we're doing that, we are being what a man should be.
That's a fact.
We're treating things as Christ should. And that's first and foremost. If you got a man that's doing that, you ain't got to worry about if you got a man or not. Or if he's gonna fall through or come through. This is our blueprint.
I like that. He said he's going to do it, and he did it.
Yeah.
Here we go. 1 John 2, 15. Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in them. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, comes not from the Father, but from the world. And this is why we don't base our life on this. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. That's a word for the men today. Hope you do that. Live forever. So we in there. That's it. That's all we got. You got the Right Reverend Trevor Lucas, Bishop J.B. Harrison, and Josh Williams, Esquire the Third, Doctor, and I'm just Legend. So thanks for being here, man. Like, star, share, do all the things, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, thank you so much for watching this episode. Do me a favor. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Go to the show notes, do all the things, and let us know what you're feeling, because we'd love to hear from you. Appreciate you.